Hey there. Today I will show you how the members of the band Cannibal Corpse had changed. You will learn their real names and ages. Watch this video to the end to see what all the musicians of this New York death metal band looked like in their youth and early career, and what they look like now in 2023. Enjoy watching. The name Chris Barnes is known probably to all fans of death metal music. Chris started his creative way with Tyrant Sin, which after 2 years of existence broke up, but on its ashes appeared Cannibal Corpse, a band we all know. The debut album titled Eaten Back to Life was released in 1990 and was banned in several countries because of its shocking cover art. Barnes took part in creating the first 4 albums and 1 EP, but he eventually left the band in 1995 due to personal disagreements with the members and began his own 6 Feet Under project. By the way, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss many exciting videos. Let's move on. One of the most experienced and talented bass players, Webster, realized already at an early age that he was going to make music. Initially he wanted to play drums, then he started learning to play acoustic guitar, but eventually he settled on the bass. At the age of 18 he was in the band Beyond Death, but after 1 year that band merged with Tyrant Sin into a new project, Cannibal Corpse, the name of which Alex came up with. Rhythm guitarist Jack Owen was at the origins of Cannibal Corpse. He was with the band from the age of 21 to 37, and his guitar parts can be heard on 9 albums. Since 2004 he was in Florida death metal band Side, where he played 12 years. Jack is currently a member of a Chris Barnes band called 6 Feet Under. Erik Rutan hasn't been in Cannibal Corpse that long. He joined the band only in 2021. But you can't call Erik a newcomer either, because he's a very experienced musician who was in many metal bands. He began his way with Ripping Corpse, where he helped to create the album Dreaming with the Dead. After that he played in Morbid Angel for 3 years. At the age of 25 he formed his own death metal band Hate Eternal, which released 7 studio albums. Paul Mazurkiewicz is one of the few original members of Cannibal Corpse. Paul started his way as a drummer in the band Tyrant Sin, together with Chris Barnes. In 1988 Cannibal Corpse was born, which has gone down in history of heavy metal music forever. Mazurkiewicz has contributed to all 15 albums of the band not only with drum parts, but also as a songwriter. Paul also realizes his creative ambitions beyond death metal music in his side projects Umbilicus and Heaven's Gate. Bob Rusay is the first lead guitarist of Cannibal Corpse. He started out in a Buffalo thrash metal band called Tyrant Sin, which also included Chris Barnes and Paul Mazurkiewicz. Rusay's guitar parts can be heard on the band's first 3 CC albums. It is the third work, Tomb of the Mutilated, that is considered one of the darkest and most brutal Cannibal Corpse releases. I think many fans will agree in the comments. Barrett is known as the rhythm guitarist for Cannibal Corpse, but he was originally the lead guitarist from 1993-97. He even appeared with the members in the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, where Cannibal Corpse had a cameo appearance. He rejoined the band again only in 2005. In general, Barrett started his musical career at the age of 21 in the band Solstice, which released their debut album in the early 90s. And in '93, as you already know, Rob was contacted by Webster, who offered him a place in the band to replace Bob Rusay. Pat O'Brien is recognized as one of the most gifted guitarists in death metal history. In his childhood he played baseball, though he didn't like it. At the age of 17 Pat and his friends formed his first band Savatage, which quickly enough disbanded. O'Brien briefly was a guitarist in bands Nevermore and Monstrosity. In 1997, he joined Cannibal Corpse to replace Rob Barrett. In late 2018, he was arrested for burglary. George Fisher joined Cannibal Corpse in 1995 to replace the first vocalist Chris Barnes. The first band album he participated in was Vile, released in '96. When George was a kid, he didn't like school and dreamed of playing in a band. In his teenage years he got interested in metal music, and in the 80s he, together with his friends, gathered a band called Corpsegrinder, which did not last long because the members only wanted to drink beer and have fun. For 6 years Fisher was lead vocalist of Florida death metal band Monstrosity, but after recording their second album, he left and joined Cannibal Corpse. He contributed vocally on 11 albums. Watch these videos to see more interesting transformations of your favorite celebrities. See you in the next video.